What up, what up? This is Finance, Fitness, and Folk, the channel where we discuss finance, a little bit of fitness, talk about some folk. Today's episode, the subject is going to be equality is real in the financial world. So what do I mean by that? So real quick, I see a lot of folks on YouTube and even people that I know personally that will complain and say that they're being discriminated against, people being racist against them when it comes to them trying to move up the ladder in their job or their position. I hate to say it quite honestly, it's mostly my black friends that are saying this, or black folks in general that I see on social media saying these things. And speaking for myself, you know, I'm from the projects. I lived in the projects until I was 20 years old. So the first 20 years of my life, I was in poverty. My mom had food stamps. She was on welfare. You know, I mean, I'm around drug dealers every day. I'm around prostitutes, you know, drugs in general. You know, folks getting high off of crack. And I grew up in the 80s. So, you know, the crack epidemic, I wasn't even 10 years old when the crack epidemic came out. So, you know, I saw all these things. And it never changed my mind from a very early age to the point that, you know, I really wanted better for myself. I always felt that way being in the projects. You know, not everybody feels that way, but for myself, you know, I was the total opposite of everybody else. You know, like you know, a lot of my friends, you know, rest in peace, some of them, they're not here right now. You know, keep the head up to some of my friends I grew up with that's locked up behind the cage. You know, folks that are still actually trying to struggling still in the projects. You know, keep your head up. I just wanted better for myself, you know. And I joined the military when I was 20 and never looked back. And since that time, you know, I've been introduced to a lot of ethnicities. Can't pronounce that word, so don't joke me on that one. But different ethnic backgrounds, I put it like that. All right, so. I never was in a space to where I really felt like I was being discriminated against. So, you know, I guess I can't really speak to that. But here's one thing I want everybody to understand and to really pay attention to. And I said this in a previous video that I made up here on this channel. You know, the example I gave to where like somebody that's a foreigner could come over here, you know, with no social security number. You know, poor, don't have anything, and these folks can build wealth in an extremely short period of time. You know, some of these folks that come over here and they become millionaires within a couple of years, like less than 5 years, they're millionaires. I got a couple that I know. I want to say they're from Nigeria, I believe. I didn't really ask them where they were from, but I know they're from Africa. They're not from here, and their daughter goes to the same school that my daughter goes to. And first thing I noticed when I saw them pull up the very first day they came to the school was they put up in a Range Rover, nice Range Rover. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, you know, real nice. And I mean, you know, I didn't think too much of it. You know, I know plenty of folks that have Range Rovers. You know, but when I realized they were foreigners and they hadn't been here for a certain period of time, I'm like, at first thing I'm thinking, like in my business mind, I'm thinking that they must create a business. And the car might be in the business name. And I'm not saying that's the case, but, you know, I'm just trying to think from a logical perspective that might have been what they did, you know. But that's all to say that, you know, these folks are not indigenous to America, and they, within a couple of years, they were able to get a luxury car. They live in a nice complex. Actually, they got a house, I believe. Yeah, they got a house. Mortgage payment, all of that, you know. And it makes you really wonder, like, were they being discriminated against because they're black? They're from Africa. They're from the motherland. You know, so were they really discriminated against? How can they be discriminated against where they have all this money? They're making more money than I am, for the most part. You know, I'm not saying that I'm hurting. You know, but you know, I'm able to definitely take care of my family. But you know, I'm not rolling around in a Range Rover. You know. I probably could afford one, but at this point in my life, I see no point in it because I'm trying to build wealth. and I can hold off on the nice cars, you know, the huge house on the hill, if I ever get one, because I think a house can be can be a liability instead of an asset. And I think I explained that in another video as well. But you know, maybe I'll make another video to explain that concept as well. I'm gonna hold off on the nice watches, the Gucci suits, and all this other stuff, whatever. Like I'm trying to build something, you know. But you know, that's all to say that when I say about, you know, equality is available in the financial world, it's like, you know, I don't see discrimination. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. What I see is folks complaining instead of like changing their environment and changing their mindset. You know, I was never a slave. My ancestors were slaves. You know, and last time I checked, I don't think there's any slave alive still. There would be like, my goodness, they'd be like over 200 years old, I believe, if I'm doing the math right. You know, so black folks in America that are living right now never went through slavery. So we need to get out of this slave mind where we're thinking that the system is against us. Now, I do believe there are some mechanisms that are actually in place that can hinder, to a certain degree, some financial progress. But for the most part, you know, America talks money. They don't talk race. They don't. If that was the case, then how did we got all these multimillionaires, black folks that are, you know, in the music industry, or like, you know, they just have like, maybe someone had just like normal businesses. But I mean, where are these folks being discriminated against? You know, these folks are making millions a year, and you know, it's all filtered through them, you know, putting in the work, putting in hard work, and making the system work for them. We gotta stop making excuses, y'all. We gotta stop making excuses. You know, like I said, you know, like I never really experienced discrimination because of me spending so much time in the military. Like, you know, you don't really see that in the Army. You know, I have heard of some situations in other branches where that may happen. I'm pretty sure it probably happened in the Army as well. You know, but all in all, like, you know, because of all the different ethnic backgrounds that I've met and been associated with you know, being in the Army, like, I never really felt that way. And being in the civilian world now, and having a normal job, I don't see that either. All I see is black folks making a whole bunch of money. Now, I do understand that, you know, you may have some folks up here on this channel that, you know, are looking through life through a impoverished lens. But what I want to tell you is that you can be a millionaire. Even if you're sitting at home right now with nothing in your bank account. You got zero money in your bank account right now. You don't got no job. You know, you might even be homeless watching this video. And I'm telling you right now, you can be a millionaire. You can. There's nothing on this earth that can hold you back from being a millionaire. If you put your mind to it and you actually change your mindset as far as how money works. You can make something out of nothing. And foreigners do it every single day. I said it in a video that I posted on Facebook one time. You know, folks are sitting here, you know, laughing at, you know, the Indian guy that owns the 7-Eleven, you know, about his accent, and he can't talk English. But this joker is probably sitting on like $500,000 in the bank, while you at the gas pump, hoping that you got enough money on your car to actually get enough gas. And he a foreigner. He ain't even from the United States. How's he doing better than you? But you sitting here joking him or joking her. Equality is available in the financial space. There's nothing holding anybody back from making money. And I want to make this video to emphasize that, because as I grow this channel, I'm going to give a lot of tips on finance, on fitness, and talk about some folk that actually can make money, that actually do make money. So you can emulate some of the things that they have done to make money. But in order for you to do that, you gotta have a mindset that just because you're not Caucasian, that you can't make money. That's not true. That's a lie. That's a lie, I'm telling you. You know, I'm not making this video you know, to really direct it towards black people, but I'm just saying, like, you know, that's the demographic that I've seen over and over again complaining about there's no equality. And you have to see, you know, life through a different lens, y'all. You just have to. You cannot blame the man, quote unquote, from holding you back. These folks that are making millions right now that are black, that's not luck, y'all. That was hard work. That was them having the knowledge to be able to use leverage on things that they had in place to make money and build wealth for themselves. So, like I said, I want y'all to understand that I want y'all to change your mindset, and I want you to understand the equality is available in the financial space. It really is. Nothing is holding you back from making wealth, all right? And I want to make sure that you guys understand that. And as I grow this channel, I'm going to push you forward into your destiny, all right? Hope everybody is doing very good today or tonight, whatever time it is you watch this video. Finite Fitness and Folk, Triple F. I'm gone.